Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today on Political Economy, we are going to be exploring two of the major concepts of political economy, which is the concept of class and class struggle. For a comprehensive understanding of these two major concepts, we are going to explore this from the liberal perspective and the Marxian perspective of class and class struggle. So stick to the very end of this video to learn about this. Let's get started. The idea of class has existed for centuries, even before it became a formal concept. This was as in ancient society, there were those who were regarded as the high class and there were those that were regarded as the lower class. Those of the high class, you have like the clergy, you have the king, the nobles, and then the lower class, you have the peasants and even the slaves. They were all regarded as the lower class. Even in the slave society system, we have the slave owners as a class and we have the slave as a class. Same also in the feudal system where you have the lord and the serfs. So you see, the history of class has always been there right from time. Fast forward later to the 17th and 18th century, which was during the rise of capitalism, which was coupled with the Industrial Revolution, we had a new form of class, which was based on the factory owners and then the workers. What then is class? Oftentimes we've had people say things like, he's not in my class, she's not in my class. This could be because the person don't have as much money as they do. So you see, the money difference creates such class. So class actually refers to a group of people who are divided by their relationship to money, work, and property. Let's take for example, I own a business and I employ workers to run the business. As a business owner, I am a class of my own, while the workers are a class of theirs. This difference in terms of wealth is what defines me and the workers as two different classes. What then is class struggle? Class struggle refers to the conflict between two groups or two classes. Using the same example, where I own a business and I employ people to run the business. So class struggle refers to when there is a conflict between the workers and myself. This conflict could be over increase in wage or improving on the working conditions for the workers. So that's the class struggle. That is the struggle between two classes. We move over to understanding this concept of class and class struggle from the two perspectives, the liberal and the Marxist perspective. To start with, the liberal perspective. From a liberal perspective, class is defined based on socioeconomic category. That is, your level of wealth, the level of income, and the level of your occupation defines your class. The liberal perspective also believes in upward mobility. That is, the movement between classes. This could be possible through hard work, education, or opportunities. Let me give you an example. A worker today, through hard work, education, and opportunities, can become a factory owner. This explains the movement between classes in terms of upward mobility. On the issue of class struggle, the liberal perspective believes that class conflict is not an inherent feature of the society, but rather as a result of poor governance, poor policies being made by the government. So according to them, to resolve this class conflict or class struggle, the government can make proper policies, proper decisions, proper rules, laws in order to bridge the gap between these owners and the workers, which will now create unity in the society. This is to tell you that the liberal perspective believes that this inequality in the society, which brings about class struggle, can be addressed through proper governance and better policies made by the government. So they believe that this should be done rather than overthrowing the government entirely. However, this liberal perspective downplays systemic power imbalance, which brings us to the other view, which is the Marxist perspective. According to the Marxist perspective, class is defined by the relationship to the means of production. Don't worry, I will explain this. The Marxists also went on to state that class is the foundation of the society. According to this Marxist view, at every point in history in the development of the society, there have always existed two social classes. Let's take, for example, during the slave society system, you have the slave owners and you have the slaves. In the feudal system, you have the lord and you have the serfs. And then currently in the capitalist system, you have the bourgeoisie and you have the proletariats. The bourgeoisies are those that own the factory, they own the land, they own the resources, they own the capital. And then the proletariats are the workers who have just their labor power. These land, resources, capital, and factories are known as the means of production. This is why, according to the Marxists, class is defined by the relationship to the means of production. This is as one class owns the means of production and the other class just have their labor power to offer. According to the Marxists, this relationship between the bourgeoisie class and the proletariat class is exploitative. How? This is because according to the Marxists, the workers produce more value but are yet paid little wages. Come to think of it, what is the use of a land if there are no workers to actually carry out activities on those land for them to yield? This is why the Marxists believe that the workers are being given little value for their work, despite the fact that they are the one that produced the value in the first place. According to the Marxists, it is this exploitation of the proletariat by the bourgeoisie is what will bring about class struggle or class conflict. This is because at a particular point, the workers will then realize that, well, we are being used, we are the one that creates most of this value, but yet we are being given little for our effort in this production. This is known as class consciousness. And through these realizations, the workers then come together. They could form unions to fight against the exploitation of this bourgeoisie. This could be carried out in terms of protest or at a larger level where you have a revolution. But then for the Marxists, this class struggle is not a problem because it is this class struggle that has been the driving force of history. This is why it was stated that the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. So the Marxists believe that at every point in history where there exists class, this class struggle would always be the driving force that will bring about a change in the historical development of the society. This is why the Marxists believe that since the capitalist system recognizes two social classes, that is, the bourgeoisie and the proletariat, no doubt that this class struggle between these two classes will lead to the end of the capitalist system. But according to Marxists, this is only possible through a revolution. A key example of this was the Russian Revolution in 1917, where the workers came together and then united and then fought against the political system, overthrowing the political system. According to the Marxists, this overthrow of the capitalist system will bring about a classless society. This brings us to the end of this video on the concept of class and class struggle. From all of this, we've been able to see that the liberal perspective and the Marxist perspective were quite opposite in so many ways. And that's all for now. In subsequent videos, we are going to be looking into more concepts in political economy. If you have any questions, you can drop that in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Thanks.